And welcome, everyone. A very pleasant good evening to all tuning in here live from the Boschmer Gymnasium here on the campus of Brevard College in the mountains of western North Carolina. We have the regular season opener here at home for the Brevard College Tornadoes facing off against the Bob Jones Bruins. Both teams earlier in the week playing a Division I exhibition game, respectively. Brevard playing against USC Upstate and the Bruins playing against Wofford. Both teams falling short but seeing some good things, including double-digit scoring from LB Boyette for the Tornadoes against USC Upstate. And speaking of Boyette, he is in the starting lineup for the Tornadoes tonight. We'll start with them. We've got Quincy Carter, number 4, the senior guard, 6'1", 215, out of Decatur, Georgia, Collins Hill High School, also from Young Harris. We've got Boyette, number 5, the 2, the junior guard, 6'4", 190, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Queens Grant High School. The 3, number 13, Kavan KK Horton, sophomore guard, 6'2", 180, out of Asheville, North Carolina, not too far away from here, Asheville Christian Academy. Number 23, Ryan Smith, the center, sophomore, 6'7", 225, out of Greenville, South Carolina, Hillcrest High School. And rounding out the 5, senior guard, Chancey Watson, number 32, 6'1", 190, also out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Olympic High School. The Nados are led by head coach Lee Burgess, heading into his second decade at the helm of the Brevard College men's basketball squad. Season number 11 for Coach Burgess, and he is assisted by Coach Miles Leathers in season number 4, as well as student manager Tamia McGee. The starting 5 for the Bruins, number 3, Stephen Hugley, 6'4", forward, junior out of Long County, Georgia. Number 4, Hayes Brush, the 6'2", senior guard out of Greer, South Carolina. Number 21, Brian Sims, the 5'11", grad forward out of Trussville, Alabama. Number 23, Henry Blair, the 6'3", senior guard out of Ludowicki, Georgia. And number 33, Kenny Garrick, the 6'4", junior forward out of Covington, Georgia. So some Georgia boys in the starting lineup for the Bob Jones Bruins. We have a Georgia boy also in the Brevard starting lineup in Quincy Carter. And now we head down for the PA announcements of the starters and the national anthem. Bruins and Nados coming up here in just a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visiting Bruins of Bob Jones University. At 4, the 6'4" junior from Long County, Georgia, number 3, Stephen Hugley. At guard, the 6'2" senior from Greer, South Carolina, number 4, Hayes Brush. At 4, the 5'11" graduate from Trussville, Alabama, number 21, Brian Sims. At guard, the 6'3" senior from Ludowicki, Georgia, number 23, Henry Blair. And at 4, the 6'4" junior from Covington, Georgia, number 33, Kenny Garrick. Bob Jones is coached by Burton Guerrero. And now, the starting lineup At guard, 6'2" sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, number 13, Devon Horton. At center, the 6'7" sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina, number 23, Ryan Smith. And in guard, 6'1" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 32, Jesse Watson.
And right there, you've got the starting lineups for both squads here, just about ready to go here. Action at the Bosch. And we do have some of Coach Burgess's keys to the game. He told us they've got to defend Henry Blair and Brian Sims from Bob Jones off the dribble. They've got to be smart with their help defense. And Coach Burgess also saying that communication offensively is going to be a big part of the game plan and a big part in getting the win tonight. You've got to be patient on the offensive end. Don't settle. Get a good shot. And, of course, win the hustle plays. We've got the starting lineups announced. We've got both teams on the floor, and it will be Smith and Hugley for the jump ball. First 20 minutes of the regular season coming up here for the Natives. Smith for the jump ball, and that tip is going to be taken in by Boyette. He loses it out of bounds. And the ball will start with the Bruins. LB not able to get a handle on that one. And it'll be Bob Jones setting up their offense first here. Off to Sims. And he'll handle things first. On the left wing, guarded by Watson. Looking around, now going up top to Blair. Blair over to the right side, Hugley. Hugley looking for a cut, goes inside up with a layup. That one's good. And the Bruins are on the board first, 2-0, as Horton brings the ball up the left side. Horton guarded by Sims, now goes over to Watson. Right wing, Carter. Carter looking around, low block, Horton. Horton trying to set something up, couple of dribbles, turnaround jumper is good. And KK Horton with the first bucket of the season for the NATOs, and it's 2 apiece early on here at the Bosch. Sims with the ball. Now over to Hugley. Brush back to Hugley. Working on Boyette. Going inside. Tries to post up. Blocked by Smith. Gets it back. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be going the NATOs' way. Last touch by Hugley. Good interior defense there by the NATOs. As Watson passes this one in to Horton, who will come up the right side this time, guarded by Sims. Now over to Carter. Carter looking to work fast, goes up top to Watson. Watson, little stutter move, now goes back to Quincy. Quincy up top, left-hand dribble over to Horton on the left wing. Back to Quincy, up top, over to LB now on the left wing. LB thinking about it, 13 on the 24. Over to Smith up top. Smith hands to Boyette. Boyette the three, fires it up, and it is good. LB Boyette connecting with his first three-pointer of the season, and it's a 5-2 NATO lead here. Just under a minute and a half into the first half here. This one goes to Hugley in the high block. Up now, left wing three-pointer, no good there by Garrick. Now rebound Hugley. Hugley the floater, that one no good off back iron. Rebounded by Watson. Watson now up to Carter. Carter pushing the break. Over to Smith. He gets it. Passing back over. That one's taken away by Sims. Sims now coming up the floor. Doesn't have numbers. Goes inside anyway. Gets the ball snatched by Watson, and a foul called on Chancey Watson. Watson not sure about that one, but it'll be the first one on him and the first one on the Tornadoes. And it'll be Sims going to the line here. Sims' first free throw is no good off the back of the rim. And now in comes Sly White to get Ryan Smith out. Sly White, 6'2", junior guard out of Raleigh, North Carolina, checking in for the first time this regular season. As Sims shoots again and goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. 5-3 NATO lead with 18-19 to go in the first half here. Horton now up the right side. Now goes to his left, working to his left, going to Boyette. Now to Watson in the post. Watson thinks about the pass. Now goes up top, Boyette. Another three. Fires it up. That one's good. LB Boyette from beyond the arc for the second time. 2 minutes into the ball game. And now Sims with the ball, working to his left on Horton. Tries to go inside. Pass out of the corner now. Back to Sims. Up top, it's Brush. Hayes Brush dribbles to the left. Now goes to Hugley. Motioning. Now Garrick has the ball. Garrick up top, over to Brush. Brush pump fakes a three, goes inside, pulls up a mid-range, and that one is pure. And there's points 4 and 5 for the Bruins. Off the hand of Hayes Brush, the 6'2 senior guard. from South Carolina. Now up top, Chansey has the ball, thinks about the three, fires it, can't hit off the back of the rim. That one pulled in there by Henry Blair. Blair up top, thinks about the three, now goes over to the corner. High pass brought in by Brush, defended by Carter. Going inside to his right, passes it out. Sims fires a three, can't hit. Rebound pulled in by Watson. Watson loses the handle, now has it back. Coming up the left side, Chansey goes in, loses the ball, and a foul called. Looks like this one will be against Garrick. And it will be. Garrick with his first foul. And that's the first team foul also for the Bruins. And it'll be inbounded by Horton here. And KK looking around, still not finding anyone. Now he has White in the left corner. Up to Boyette. LB calling out the play, working up top. To his right now, Quincy. Quincy trying to find Chansey, instead goes back to LB up top, who drives in, puts it up, and off the glass, no good. Couldn't get a piece of the rim there. Now Sims with the ball, coming up the floor, pushing it. Blair now. Blair a crossover, working on Horton, going inside, trying to body, losing the ball, and it'll stay with Bob Jones. About 3 minutes in to the ball game here, 8-5 Tornado lead, and from the baseline it'll be Sims throwing this one in, and he'll give it to Hugley. Hugley in the mid-range, going inside, spinning around, puts up the mid, and that one's good. And Hugley with 4 points so far. Horton over to the right side to Chansey. Now Quincy to the post, Horton. Horton, couple dribbles, now goes to Quincy up top. Carter slowing it down. Dribbles to the right, now to Horton. Horton's going to fire his own three. Can't hit that one. Rebounded by Sims. And he'll bring it up the floor now, up top. Over to Hugley. Hugley goes into the right, working on Watson. Puts it up off the glass. That one's good. And Bob Jones, their first lead since 2-0. It's 9-8 off the third basket from Stephon Hugley. Dangerous pass over to Quincy, but he gets it in. Going in, passing out LB. Pump fakes a three. Goes inside. The layup, no good. Rebounded by Hayes Brush. NATO's struggling right now on the offensive end, and now on the defensive end as the jam there from Henry Blair makes it 11-8 Bruins. And all of a sudden, a little bit of momentum brewing for Bob Jones. Horton, right wing to Boyette. Now to the block, White. White turning around, mid-range jumper is pure. Sly White with his first basket. And it's 11-10, 4.5 minutes in here. Bob Jones leading. Right side, Sims working on KK Horton. Now over to Hugley in the corner. Quincy on him. Hugley goes inside, right on the baseline. He's going to step out. It'll be a turnover. He wants a push called on Carter. And it will be Tornado ball. Timeout called here. Media timeout, actually. 15 minutes and some change remaining here in the first half. 11-10 Bob Jones lead. We'll be right back here live from the Bosch. Back here live at the Bosch, just about 5 minutes into the ball game. Now, a couple of new faces in. Number 24, Dylan Harris, 6'6 freshman forward out of Lexington, South Carolina, as well as number 2, Trevor Brunson, a 6'5 sophomore guard out of Ramsier, North Carolina. No changes to speak of for the NATOs, and we're off once again. KK Horton gets the ball up top, now passes to White in the high post. Now trying to fit in a pass to LB Boyette. It's stolen by Sims. Sims coming up on the break. Pass down low. That one's fumbled around and stolen by White. Sly bringing it up the floor. Slowing it down. Now actually going to take it to the rack himself. The layup is good. Sly White with another basket. He's got 4. Second leading scorer for the NATOs. LB leading with 6 so far. 12-11, NATOs lead. Going inside, putting it up and missing, but a foul called there. Sims will head to the line. He was 1 for 2 his first time at the stripe. Second team foul. That one's on Horton. And Garrett Sutherland is going to go to the scorer's table and get ready to check in, as well as a Bruin. And that will be Kenny Garrick coming back into the game. Carson Evans also checking in for the first time for the NATOs, as Quincy Carter will take a seat. Hayes Brush will head to the bench for the Bruins. And 12-12. And the other free throw here is good by Sims, and he goes 2 for 2 that time. 13-12. Lead regained now by the Bruins as Carson Evans gets his first time handling the ball. He goes to Boyette, over to Sutherland, now Chansey. Chansey thought about the post, now goes back to Garrett up top. Carson over to Sly White, up top to Evans. Evans passes back to White. White goes up, and that one no good. Rebound brought in by Brunson. Brunson up the floor now, passes to his right to Sims. Sims to the corner, Garrick. Garrick working inside, loses the ball. That one taken by Garrett Sutherland. Sutherland, long pass down the floor. Boyette goes up, and that one is good. A layup by Boyette. He's got 8 already. And 6 minutes in, LB already another almost double-digit game. Had double digits in the exhibition against USC Upstate. And that pass over to Brunson. Carson guarding him. Back over to Garrick. And that's who Evans switches on to. Sims gets it now on the right wing. Over to the corner to Brunson. Brunson works inside. Loses a handle for a second. Guarded closely by Chansey. Tries to go inside. And he's going to travel. Good defense by Chansey Watson there. It'll be going the Tornadoes' way, leading 14-13. About 6.5 minutes into the ball game here. Chansey from the baseline will inbound it over to Carson Evans, number 10. Bringing it up the right side. NATOs in their home whites. Bob Jones in the Navy uniforms as Chansey Watson gets the pass up top. Now goes over to Sutherland. LB on the left side, looking around. Faces up now. Couple of dribbles to the right hand, working inside, now losing the handle, now getting it back, goes over to Garrett. Garrett going inside, he puts it up off the glass, no good. A lot of contact, no whistle blown there. Sims now coming up the floor. Coast to coast passes to Brunson. Brunson goes up with a layup, it's good. And Brunson gets his first basket, making it 15-14, and a back and forth start so far in this one. Chansey getting a screen from White, now working under it, goes back up top to Sly. Sly, couple of left-hand dribbles, passes over to Carson Evans. Evans goes down low, tight pass to Garrett. Garrett working, picks up his dribble. Now the mid-range, no good off the back of the rim. And that rebound brought in by Kenny Garrick. Bruins back up the floor with 12:45 to go in the first half. Nice move on Evans, goes in. The basket is good. Kenny Garrick with his first basket, and it's 17-14 Bruins as Carson Evans brings it up. Goes over to the right side to LB. On the wing now up top to Sly. Back to LB. Nice little move. Goes into the left. Stops. Puts up the mid-range. And it's good. Double digits for LB Boyette already. And the NATOs trail by 1. 10 points for LB Boyette on 4 of 6 rather. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. As Sims works on Evans. Goes inside. Puts it up. That one is good off the glass. Brian Sims with 5 points. 19-16 Bruins, under 12 minutes to go in the first. Carson over to the right side, LB. Up top, Sly White, one-hand dribble, and tripped up is Sutherland, and it'll be a blocking foul against Sims. Sims' first foul, team second. And Boyette heading over to the bench, and it looks like it'll be another media timeout. Both teams heading to talk things over. Bruins leading at 19-16. Just under 12 minutes to go here in the first half here at the Bosch. Back here at Brevard, and it is a 19-16 Bob Jones lead here. Not quite halfway through the first half. 3-point deficit for the NATOs, but they've got the ball. Charles Reed and Paris Crawford both in for the first time tonight. Hugley, Brunson, Hayes, Sims, and Garrick, the 5 for Bob Jones, as Garrett Sutherland gets it over to Evans. Now left wing Crawford. Crawford takes one dribble, now goes back up top to Carson. Carson passing over to White up top, 5 on the 24, over to Reed. Reed to Sutherland. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and he's going to get a shot clock violation. I don't think Garrett realized how much time was left on the shot clock. And now checking back in is Henry Blair, subbing Brunson out. And Garrick will inbound right in front of the NATO crowd over to Sims. Garrick gets it, left wing. A couple of dribbles now to Hugley. To the corner, Blair. Blair working inside of the left, goes up with the left, and it is good. 21-16 as Blair with his second basket. Carson Evans clearing out, left wing, goes down low to White. White pass to Reed, up top Crawford. Crawford a couple of left-hand dribbles, hands to Charles. Charles crossing over, going inside. Nice move, but it's sent by Kenny Garrick as Brush gives it over to Sims. Now down low, Hugley. Hugley working on White. Puts it up, and one. Hugley with his 8th point, 7th and 8th point. And now we'll go to the line with a chance for point number 9 and a chance to make it an 8-point lead all of a sudden for Bob Jones. 10-2 run here for the Bruins as Hugley heads to the line for the first time. 4 for 6 from the field is Hugley. Once again, his first free throw attempt, and it is good. 24-16 Bob Jones lead all of a sudden. Reed over to Evans. Evans bringing it up, pressured a little bit by Brush, who will back off. Brush to Sutherland, to Crawford. Right side, Reed back up top, Crawford. He passes over to Carson Evans. Evans scanning up top, Ryan Smith. Smith with the dribble, the cutting Evans, nice layup. Nice find there by Ryan Smith, the big man with the dime. As Sims gives it up top to Garrett. Garrett going inside, puts it up, and that one high off the glass. Kenny Garrick with his second basket. He's got 4, and it's 26-18 as we near the halfway point of half number 1. Crawford left side, couple of dribbles, now gives up top to Ryan Smith. Smith looks around, takes the dribble, passes to Evans. Evans with a move up top, and now it looks like a 3-second violation or a foul against Kenny Garrick. It might have been holding Garrett Sutherland. And Sims comes out in favor of Brunson. KK Horton back in the game for the NATOs as well, as Reed looking for someone to inbound to. He gets it to Sutherland. Now up top, Horton has it. Back to Garrett. Now back to Horton. Dribbling with the left, now goes over to his left side to Charles Reed. Reed looking for a cut, can't find it. Will dribble it out, go over to Sutherland. 6 on the shot clock. Horton thinks about it, driving inside, passing. Reed goes up, he's blocked. That one's going to go out of bounds, and Charles Reed rejected right there. And a timeout coming here. Looks like a 20-second timeout by Coach Lee Burgess. Brevard with their first timeout, trailing by 8 here, trying to kind of weather the storm here a little bit. As you see Bob Jones talking things over. They're led by Stephon Hugley, 4 of 6 from the field. He's added another point at the free throw line. For the NATOs, LB Boyette already in double digits, 4 for 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. Sly White is the next leading scorer with 4 points on an efficient 2 of 3. Evenly distributed a little bit for the Bruins. Brian Sims with 5, Henry Blair and Kenny Garrick with 4 apiece, and then Trevor Brunson and Hayes Brush each have a basket. As Reed will inbound this one with 2 seconds on the shot clock after the block. Get it over to Crawford. Crawford loses it, puts it up, and it'll be a shot clock violation once again on the NATOs. Second time so far that we've seen that one. Little bit of an unfortunate circumstance, though. Only 2 seconds on the shot clock following the block. And now Brunson bringing it up the middle of the floor, working on Horton. Nice D by Horton, trying to lose him and can't. Goes over to Brush this time. Up top, Blair, a long two, will hit it. Long two-pointer there makes it a double-digit lead for the Bruins with 9:20 to go in the first half. Crawford up top to Reed. Reed over to Crawford. Crawford not getting any space, puts up a floater. He's blocked, gets it back though, now over to Reed. Reed thinks about the three, won't take it, now goes over to Crawford. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Garrett gets it. Over in the low block, Horton mid-range, and he's fouled. So Horton, 2 points already, hasn't gone to the stripe yet, but this will be his first trip. NATO's trailing by 10 with 9:01 to go. 15-4 run in the last 4 minutes for Bob Jones, and that will continue so far as Horton misses free throw number 1. We'll try to even it up here and knock down the second. He fires and can't hit that one off the back of the rim, rebounded by Hugley. So the NATO's come up empty there from the stripe. Under 9 minutes to go in the half now as Brunson going inside, working on Horton. Good D. He puts up a shot, and that one's no good. Ryan Smith with the rebound. Crawford pushing it up the right side, looking around now, clearing out. Right wing now, he has it, dribbling with the left, goes over to his left to Garrett Sutherland, who fixes it back over to Ryan Smith, fires up a three, and just what the doctor ordered, Ryan Smith with a big tray. That's Smith's first basket, his first shot, matter of fact, and it's a big three-pointer to stem the tide there as Blair puts up his own three and answers right back. Blair now with 9. Still hasn't missed from the field either, as Horton up top going to fire up another three. Can't hit that one. Rebound out of the reach of Sutherland. This one, Brunson has it, losing the ball. Reed going for it, and a foul called. A little bit of a questionable call there. That one's going to be against Reed. It looked like a loose ball. Reed had as much of a right to it as anybody else, but not what the official saw, as number 25, Caleb Owens, a 6'6 freshman forward out of Easley, South Carolina, checks in for the Bruins. Sims, the inbounder, goes over to Hugley, right back to Sims, to the corner, wide open, Blair for three again, and he misses finally. 4 of 5 from the field with 9 points. Missing that one. Reed now has it up top, over to Horton. Horton getting a screen from Smith, works away from it, goes inside, he's blocked, and a foul called from half court. Horton going to go to the line once again. He went 0 for 2 just a moment ago from the stripe. Chance to get the deficit back down to 8 with 7:49 remaining here in the first half. Horton the shooter, and it looks like immediate timeout once again coming here. 31-21, Bob Jones leading here with 2 NATO free throws coming up. We'll be right back. Back here at the Bosch, NATO's trailing here 31-21, and KK Horton heading to the free throw stripe for a pair of free throws. And for the Bruins, Blair, Hugley, Owens, Sims, and Brush, the 5, as Horton knocks in his first. For the NATO's, Boyette checked back in, Quincy Carter as well. They're accompanied by Reed, Horton the shooter, and Ryan Smith, the big man, as Horton knocks down that one. Goes 2 for 2 that time. He's 2 for 4 in total. And now Sims bringing it up the floor on the left side, calling out the play. Working on Charles Reed. Gets it over to Blair. Blair has had a hot hand, goes over to Brush instead. Brush spinning, trying to work on Smith. Hugley gets it. Hugley spinning around. Back to the corner to Brush. Brush, wide open. Blair going to try another three and will not hit. Rebound by Hugley, but it's an over-the-back foul against him, and it'll be going the NATO's way. A little bit too much contact there going up over Charles Reed. And Horton now over to the left side. Carter pump fakes the three. Now fires up the mid-range wide open, and he connects. Quincy Carter brings the deficit back down to 6. And now Sims working up the right side. Goes over to Owens. Bad pass. Able to handle it. Reed guarding him tightly. Owens trying to go inside. Looking for anything. Pestered by Reed. Over to the corner now. Sims. Hugley working on Smith on the left side. Going inside. Trying to work a turnaround. Goes up with the hook. And that one's going to bounce around and go in. Hugley now the leading scorer in the game with 11. And the lead's back up to 8 for the Bruins. Horton working to his left, now goes over to Quincy, who passes to his right to Boyette. Now Reed. LB gets it back, firing up another three, and can't hit that one. Rebound hauled in, Carter. Carter going up strong, can't get it. Gets his own rebound up again, goes up, and he's fouled. Quincy Carter fighting tough in the paint by himself with multiple Bruins, getting his own rebound twice and then drawing the foul. Quincy, 2 points so far, is his first trip to the line. He's got some rebounds as well, as that one is going to rattle around and go out. Coming in now is Dylan Harris and Brunson back in the game. No subs to speak of for the NATOs. Harris in the low block, a 6'6" freshman forward, as Quincy fires a second free throw and does hit that one. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line, splitting the pair. And now Sims coming up the left side, working on Reed. 7-point lead, 33-26 with 6:28 to go in the half. Harris working on Smith, tries to spin around, gets a hole, loses the ball, but Horton has got it. Coming up the right side now, KK back to the middle. Nice pass. Charles Reed going up. He's blocked. It was a great pass by Horton, but a good recovery by the Bruins defense. And Charles Reed once again on the wrong end of a rejection. He'll inbound here. Reed finds Boyette. Up top, Horton. NATO's offense starting to get a little more flow to it. LB working, pump fakes a three, now goes over to his left to KK. Up top, LB once more. 10 on the shot clock, Reed. LB working to his left, spinning, going up. The layup is good. Crafty move there by Boyette. And he's got 12 so far in the first half. 5-point deficit for the NATOs as Sims brings it up. And a whistle blown here. And we'll have a front court throw in. Not sure exactly. Maybe a clock issue. Whatever it is was resolved fairly quickly, though. Front court throw in. Sims over to Harris. Sims gets it back. Working on Boyette. And somehow no travel called there, but the NATOs get the rebound. Reed now working up. Goes over to Carter. Pass. Boyette. Pump fake. Goes up. He's blocked but fouled. And LB Boyette is going to head to the line for the first time. He's got 12 points, but hasn't taken a trip to the stripe up until now. 5:39 to go here in half number one. NATO's trailing by 5. A chance to make it a one-possession game here for Boyette. Number 5, the most reliable NATO scorer. He's taking his first free throw attempt of the night. Fires it up and hits. LB's got 13. And a chance to make it once again a 3-point game here for Boyette. Spins the ball around now, fires up the second one, and hits. Perfect trip to the line for LB. He's got 14 already with 5:39 to go in the first half. As newly checked in, Tostadas Pouncey has the basketball. Guarded by Reed. Reed not losing him. And now Brunson working on Carter. And Blair has it now, and a travel on Blair, and it's going to be going back the other way. NATO's starting to get a little bit of fire under them, it looks like, and a timeout going to be called by Bob Jones and head coach Burton Uwaro. NATO's trail by 3, 5:25 to go here in the first half. We'll be right back. Back here at the Bosch, 5:25 and counting to go here in half number one. 33-30 Bob Jones lead as KK Horton brings it up for the NATOs. Going inside and a foul called against Harris. Quick first step there by Horton. Pouncey, Sims, Blair, Brunson, and Harris, the five for the Bruins. As KK fires up his first free throw here. That one, no good. It was a 1-and-1, so he won't get the second one, actually, as Pouncey brings it up. Right corner. Brunson has it, doesn't shoot it. Now up to Blair, left wing. In the corner, Sims has it. Harris working on Smith, trying to get some space. Not giving any ground to Smith. Wild pass over to Sims. He hauls it in. Pouncey has it now. Over to Brunson. Will fire up a three and hit it. Brunson has 5 now, 2 of 3 from the field. That was his first three-point attempt, and the lead doubled now up to 6, 4:45 and counting to go. LB has it on the right wing, up top Charles. Left side, Quincy up top, Ryan Smith takes the dribble, gives it back to Quincy. Quincy working inside, stepping back now, dribbling with the left, looking around, clearing space now, going over to Horton. Right side, Boyette, spin move, going inside, passing it. Nice pass to Carter, and the layup is there. Quincy's got 5. Nice feed there by Boyette, assist number 1 for him. And another whistle blown here. I'm not sure what's going on here. The officials conferring. And look, maybe some sort of substitution issue here. It's 36-32, Bruin lead with 4:22 to go here in half number 1. Harris coming out. Hugley coming back in. Chancey Watson back in for the NATOs as Charles Reed takes a seat. Harris will be the one heading to the bench for the Bruins. And they'll redo the inbound, it looks like. Blair looking around now, finally get it off to Sims. Sims guarded a little loosely there by Carter. And Sims working to his left now. Over to Pouncey, a little step back move over to the corner. Blair, guarded by Horton. Might try and just body him here. Goes inside with the left, no good. Rebound brought in by Watson and a late foul called. Very late whistle there. It's going to be against Horton. I mean, the whistle was blown there after the rebound was grabbed. But it'll send Blair to the line for 2. Blair already with 9 points. This is his first trip to the stripe. 4 of 7 from the field for him. 36-32 Bruin lead as the first one there is good. And David Seeley going to check in for the first time. He's going to get Horton out. Horton only his first foul there, second foul rather. And that free throw is going to rattle around and go in. So 38-32 lead here with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Chancey has it. Over to LB. Quincy. Right side, Seeley. Seeley thought about going to LB and set up top to Carter. Carter going inside, loses the ball, and it'll stay with the NATOs. Knocked out by Hugley. And immediate timeout once again here. 3:51 to go in the first half. NATOs trailing it by 6, 38-32. LB Boyette leading the scoring already with 14. I'll be right back as the two teams huddle up and talk things over. Both teams headed back onto the floor here. No changes for the NATOs. Brunson, Pouncey, Hugley, Sims, and Blair, the 5 for Bob Jones. Seeley from the baseline, inbounds over to Boyette on the left wing. LB making his move, passes over to Seeley. Cutting LB, the right hand layup, just not there as Pouncey brings it up the floor over to Blair. Corner Brunson, looking around now back to Pouncey. He moves Blair out and now gives it to him. Hugley, couple of left-hand dribbles over to the corner. Pouncey pump fakes, now fires the three and will not hit. Rebound brought in LB Boyette. Boyette coming slowly up the left side, calling out the play now. Getting a screen from Smith's going to step back, fire the three, and hit it. Third trifecta from LB Boyette, and he's got 17 points in the first half. Pouncey up top now to Hugley, guarded by the smaller Seeley. He defers over to Blair, who Seeley picks up on. Now Sims in the corner, going over Hugley. Hugley working on Quincy, tries to put it up. Blocked! Ryan Smith. Carter leading the break. Looking, going to take it up himself, loses the ball, and that one will stay with the NATOs. Looks like it might have been Brunson that knocked it out. And 38-35, all of a sudden back to a three-point deficit for the NATOs. LB Boyette with a three going in. Carter, pass back to Seeley. Seeley takes a dribble and a travel called against David there. And maybe a squandered opportunity there for the NATOs with 2:44 remaining in the first half. Pouncey up the middle of the floor, guarded by Seeley. Now over to Hugley. Blair going to fire up another three. Won't hit it. Air ball. Rebound there brought in by David Seeley. Seeley left side now. Looking around. Stepping back over to LB. LB up top. He has 17. Dribbles to the left. Now over to Seeley. Loses a handle for a second. Gets it back. Moving Smith down low. 15 on the shot clock. Over to the right corner. Quincy. Quincy going to take a couple of dribbles. Looking around now. And back to his right. Gives it to Chancey, who fires up the three. Won't hit it. Rebounded there by Sims. 2:08 to go in the half. Sims slowing it down. Seeley steps up on him. Going inside now, putting up with the left. That one is good off the glass. Back to a two-possession game now. Sims with 7 points now. 1:53 to go. 40-35. Bob Jones lead. David Seeley, the point guard, bringing it up. Now gives over to LB. Back to Ryan Smith up top. He's going to fire his own three. Won't hit off the back of the rim. Seeley hustling in for the board. Can't get it. Sims spinning off of Carter. Over to Blair. Goes inside, and that one's no good. Great defense by Ryan Smith. Seeley has it now. 1:30 to go. Over to Quincy. Right side. Watson up top to Carter. Going inside. Puts it up with the left. It's good off the glass. Quincy Carter brings it back down to three. Quincy now with 7 points. 40-37, Bob Jones lead. A tight contest so far. 1:10 to go in the half. Brunson up top. Pump fakes a three. Going over to Sims, who's guarded by Quincy Carter. Left wing. Hugley trying to get open and can't. Now deferring to his right as Sims will pass over to the left to Hugley. Guarded by Ryan Smith, who's been excellent. Up top, Pouncey. Pouncey going in with the right. Tries to put it up. Good D by Boyette. It's no good. And whistle's blowing, and it looks like maybe something on the floor. And now the inbound, it'll stay with Brevard. It was something to do with the floor, as Andrew Aarons checking in for the first time, 6'4" junior forward, as Seeley gets it. 50 seconds to go in the half. NATO's trailing by 3. Chance to tie it up on this possession. Watson over to Carter. Carter down low, Seeley. Seeley, a couple of dribbles, going to put it up and hit it. David Seeley telling Pouncey to hit the weight room there. Dropping the shoulder into him, and it's a 1-point game with 30 seconds to go in the half. NATO's can get the last shot. Pouncey up to Sims. Sims going inside, puts it up with the left off the glass, rolls in and out. Boyette has it now. NATO's can hold for the last shot, but they're going to go on the break. Quincy goes up. Layup is no good, but a foul. And the NATO's now with a chance to take the lead with 16 and a half remaining in the first half. Quincy Carter, 7 points. A chance to move his total up to 9 and give the NATO's a 41-40 lead here with this trip to the line. Quincy, 1 of 2 from the stripe his first time. Takes a deep breath, now fires up the first and hits it. We're all tied up at 40 apiece. Charles Reed now checking in for the final 16.5. David Seeley will have a seat. Aarons will have a seat as well. Kenny Garrick back in and telling them to be ready for the miss. And to clear out, Carter puts up the second and gives the NATOs the lead with 16.5 remaining in the half. Pouncey now has it. Right side, no rush here. Bob Jones looking like they're primed to get the last shot of the half. Moving over to his left now, Garrick coming up top. And now pass it over to Garrick, who will fire up a three. That one well short, airballed. And with .7 to go in the half, NATOs will take over. And will likely just play it out here, unless they want to heave up something. Reed, inbound to Carter, and he'll lose it. And whistles blow, no shot. And that will be the half. An explosion there in the final stretch for the NATOs to give them a 41-40 halftime lead. And as we see now, biggest lead for Bob Jones was 10 in the first half. Brevard, biggest lead was 5 very early on in the ball game. Best run, it was 8 for Bob Jones and 5 for the NATOs. Bunch of lead changes. We've been tied a couple of times, but Bob Jones over 11 minutes with the lead. Leading scorers for both teams, Stephon Hugley with 11 points. Henry Blair also with 11 for Bob Jones. The two are combined 9 of 18 from the field, 50%, but only 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. 7 points for Brian Sims for Bob Jones and 5 for Trevor Brunson. For the NATOs, L.B. Boyette, 17 points in half number 1, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Couple of rebounds and an assist as well on 6 of 10 from the field. Quincy Carter with 9 points. Quincy Carter 3 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe, 3 rebounds. KK Horton and Sly White each with 4 apiece. NATO's leading it 41-40. About 15 minutes until second half action here at the Bosch. And a few messages coming here from Brevard College. We'll be back for the second half. NATO's leading it 41-40 here on the first regular season action of the 2022-2023 season.
Charles Reed, Concord, North Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Paris Crawford, Atlanta, Georgia.
Quincy Carter, Decatur, Georgia.
Chancey Watson, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Lauren Boyette, Charlotte, North Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Garrett Sutherland, Atlanta, Georgia.
David Seeley, Deltona, Florida.
Sly White, Raleigh, North Carolina. Go NATOs. Eli Kessinger, Orlando, Florida.
Kevin Horton, Asheville, North Carolina. Go NATOs.
Carson Evans, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Joshua Jackson, Louisiana, North Carolina.
Andrew Smith, Warrenton, North Carolina. Go Tornadoes.
Jaden Carnes, Concord, North Carolina.
Zane Cottle, Franklinville, North Carolina.
Amaru Grosvenor, Swanee, Georgia. Go NATOs.
Darius Stewart, Charlotte, North Carolina.
RJ Johnson, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ryan Smith, Greenville, South Carolina. Go NATOs.
It's important to study English because language
History is
back here at the Bosch, about a minute and a half until we resume here for second half action. NATO's leading it 41-40. Once again, leading scorers for Bob Jones, tied with 11 points apiece, are Stefan Hugley and Henry Blair, who once again are a combined 9 of 16 from the field. I said 9 of 18 earlier. Apologies for that one. And for the NATO's, LB Boyette, 17 points at the break. In the first period, NATO shot 15 of 32 from the field. That's a 46.9% clip. Bob Jones shot 16 of 31, good enough for a 51% clip, but only 25% from three, whereas the NATO's were 40% from three at 4 of 10. NATO's also a lower free throw clip, 63.6%. Bob Jones at 85.7% from the free throw stripe. Biggest lead for each team, Bob Jones held a 10-point lead early on in the contest, about halfway through the first period. And the NATO's held a 5-point lead very early on, 2 minutes into the game. Best run, 8 for Bob Jones, and a run of 6 for the NATO's right at the end of the first half. 16 seconds remaining in the half. 7 lead changes, 3 ties. Bob Jones led for 14 minutes and 59 seconds of the first period, yet still do not hold the lead at halftime. NATO's only holding the lead for 4 minutes and 6 seconds, and they now hold the lead at halftime. 41-40 as the two teams head back on to the floor. And one of the keys to the game for Coach Burgess was to defend Henry Blair and Brian Sims off the dribble. And Sims really has been neutralized. Sims only 7 points on 2 of 5, hasn't hit a 3. But Blair, leading scorer with 11, might need to hone in on him a little bit more. As Chancey Watson inbounds it over to KK Horton, and we are underway here. LB Boyette getting the ball up top. Ryan Smith goes over to Chancey. Now LB, right side, looking around, couple of left-hand dribbles, spinning around, putting it up, and it's good. LB Boyette picking up right where he left off. He's got 19. And there's a 2 for him to start the second half. Sims on the right side, now going to the left. Firing up a 3 and not hitting off the back of the rim. Rebound there by Horton. Horton pushing the break, left side Carter. Carter goes in, puts it up. Nice layup, Quincy Carter. Some acrobatics and some flexibility there by QC. And in the corner now, Blair has it. 4-0 run to start the second half for Brevard as Hugley goes inside, puts it up, and I don't know if Smith got a piece of it, but Hugley not able to hit that one. Watson, long pass over to Quincy. Quincy on the left side will slow it down now and move Watson out up top, who he will pass to. Chancey to the right wing to Boyette. Watson gets 2 defenders out of their shoes, fires up a long 2, and it's short. Rebound Sims up the floor to Hugley. Hugley one-on-one with Smith. He'll slow it down, turning around over to the left side to Blair. Now Garrick up top, shakes to the left, working on Horton, losing the ball, and that one will be off of Garrick, and it'll go the other way. NATO's basketball as Brunson will come in for Sims very early on here. Brush, Brunson, Hugley, Blair, and Garrick, the 5 for Bob Jones. Watson, Carter, Boyette, Smith, and the ball handler right now, Horton, as KK passes over to Quincy. Right wing, up top to Ryan Smith. One left-hand dribble, now passes to Boyette. Boyette, couple of dribbles, working to his right, now goes over to Quincy. Quincy passing down low, missing the mark a little bit to Watson, but he gets it. Step back, long 2. Chancey Watson knocking in the 2. And it's a 6-0 run to start the second half for the Tornadoes as Garrick gets it, working on Smith, stepping back, going over to Brush. Brush with a move, now goes over to Brunson. Brunson out to Hugley, ball knocked out by Watson. It'll stay with the Bruins, but tenacity so far these first 2 minutes of the second half by the NATOs. And Brunson from right by his team's bench will inbound it. He'll go over to Brush, guarded tightly by Horton. Up top to Garrick, right side Blair. Blair, the leading scorer, working on LB Boyette. The big muscular frame, turning around, putting it up, and that one's a wild shot. Goes off the rim, no good. Horton with the rebound. Horton looking, trying to clear some space. Goes over to Watson. Watson gets it off the deflection. LB for 3, blocked, gets it back, takes a dribble. The Euro, puts it up off the glass, it's good. LB Boyette, 21 points. And he can't miss right now. Brush has it. An 8-0 run to start the second half of the NATOs. Hugley gets it, and he'll finally break the run of the layup. Hugley with 13 points, now the leading scorer for the Bruins. L.B. Boyette, 21 points. Gets the ball once more. Up top to Smith. Boyette gonna fire up another three and will not hit that one. Oh, I was ready to get excited on that one. Blair now up to the right side. Brunson steps back with the left. Up top, Blair. Back to Brunson. Thinks about it. Stepping back, working on Boyette. He'll go back up top to Blair, not wanting to shoot. Over to Brush on the left side. Tries to spin around on Carter. He's right there. Pass out of the corner. Now to Blair. The three is good. And now deficit back down to 4 for the Bruins. NATO lead sitting at 49-45 as KK Horton brings it up. 3.5 minutes in, give or take. Chancey with the ball. Gets crowded, now goes over to Quincy. Now back to Chancey, up top to Quincy. Left-hand dribble, stepping back. Crossing between the leg, now right side Chancey. Pulling up the three and hitting. Chancey Watson. He's got 5. It was a little bit of a struggle early on shooting the basketball for Watson, but he knocks in the tray there, and it's 52-45, 7-point lead for the NATOs. Brush in the right corner, working on Boyette. Going inside, trying to get physical, turning around, loses the ball, knocked out by Boyette. Boyette tries to steal it again. Hugley gets it. Hugley going up on Smith, and the left-hand layup is good. 15 points for Stephon Hugley. Him and Blair with 29 of the 47 combined for Bob Jones as Horton working with the left, crosses over to his right, goes inside, losing the ball, whistle blown, and it'll be a foul against Hugley. It'll be his second foul. And rather, may have just been a timeout. It looked like a foul was called, but it might just be the timeout. And with that, with 15:50 to go in the ball game, NATO's leading at 52-47, and we'll be right back. NATO's back on the floor, no changes to the 5, and why would there be? Great start to the second half for the Tornadoes, leading at 52-47. At one point went on an 8-0 run to start the half. And Horton from the baseline will inbound, and it'll be over to Boyette on the right wing. Up top, Chancey. Chancey working to his left, now goes over to Quincy. Quincy pass down low to Horton. Horton couple dribbles, turnaround, mid-range is good. KK Horton with 6 points, as well as a couple of rebounds and assists. He's 2 of 4 from the field. Sims now with the basketball for the Bruins. Getting a screen from Hugley. Going inside on Smith. Beats him, and Smith got a hand on it, but that one will go in. And it'll be another basket there for Sims. He's got 9. Horton with the basketball over to Watson. Now Boyette. Boyette back to Chancey. Chancey, a couple of left-hand dribbles, goes inside, loses a handle of the ball, and a double dribble will be called there on Watson. NATO's leading it by 5. Just about 5 minutes into the second half now, and now Dylan Harris checking back into the ball game, the 6'6 freshman forward. And Sims bringing it up the floor. Same 5 for the NATOs. Brunson, Harris, Blair, Brush, and Sims, the 5 for the Bruins. Sims over to Brush up top. Tries to beat Horton. Can't beat him there. Blocked by Smith. Boyette on the break. 1-on-1. Now he's got 2-on-1. He goes up with the layup. It's good. LB Boyette. He's got 23. 23 points already for LB Boyette, and we've still got 15 minutes to go, folks. Career high 31 points last year in a double overtime victory over Berea. LB could set a new one in game 1 of his junior season. Brunson trying to find Harris. Smith goes for it and falls. Harris doubled now. Brunson in the corner firing a three. Can't hit. Rebound brought in by Horton. Horton coming up the floor. Looking, scanning to his right. Losing the basketball. Gets it back. Passes to LB. Now up top to Quincy. With his left to Watson. Fires up his own three. And can't hit. Just a little bit far on that one. Sims now bringing it up and slowing it down. 7-point lead for the NATOs. As Brunson goes inside, puts up the right-hand layup, and easy there. Got by his man, and there was no paint help. And it's 56-51 NATOs. As Horton bringing the ball up, Charles Reed and Carson Evans both getting ready to check in. Quincy tries to pass it over to Watson, and that one knocked out by Brunson. Reed and Evans now will check in, as well as Tostatus Pouncey. One of two Bob Jones Bruins from Ludowicki, Georgia. Him and Henry Blair. As Reed looking around, he'll pass up top to Quincy. Quincy slowing things down. Now goes over to Evans. Evans over to Quincy once more on the right wing. Sly White getting ready to check in now. Ryan Smith in the post, going to work. Puts up the post hook, no good. Rebound brought in by Quincy, knocked out apparently by Quincy. I thought it might stay with us. And Brunson will send this one into Pouncey. LB and Carter still on the floor, but Reed, Evans, and White have all come in. And Quincy almost gets a steal there, gets a hand on it, can't get it. Over into the corner to Brunson. Goes inside and puts up another basket there. Brunson, all of a sudden, he's got 9. A good start of the second half for him. Charles Reed, the ball handler on the left side, gives to LB, who already has 23. Over to the right side, Evans has it. Boyette, right side guarded by the undersized Pouncey, goes in with the layup. A foul. Oh, it's going to be an offensive foul, a charge against Boyette. I'm not sure that Pouncey had his feet set, but it might just be that much of a physical mismatch that he was blown back. And the offensive foul called. 56-53, 3-point NATO lead here. Things tightening up a bit. Pouncey right side over to the corner to Brunson. Now back to Pouncey. Up top Sims. Blair has it. Trying to find Harris and does. Harris goes up off the glass. Can't get it. Rebound brought in by Sims. He's knocked to the floor. And a foul. It will stay with the Bruins. And it'll be against Charles Reed. Reed's second foul. Team's second foul as well. It's a wild shot there by Harris. Lucky to get the foul call on the rebound there on Reed. As Harris gets it up top, now goes to Blair to his left. Brunson working over, now gives to Sims. Sims drives in, guarded by Boyette. Great defense. Doesn't even get a piece of the rim. Charles Reed has it now, coming out the floor to his right. Evans wide open, cannot knock down the three. Pouncey with the rebound, bringing it up with the left, now to the middle of the floor, stepping back, looking around. Nice move on Evans. He goes in, he's blocked. Carson Evans recovers, gets the block. Evans up the floor to Carter. Carter, the layup is good. Quincy Carter has 13. Whistles blowing. Harris on the ground on the baseline on the far side. Trainers coming over, and we will take a break. A big layup there by Quincy Carter. He has 13. LB Boyette has 23 and 46 of the combined 58. Or 36 of the combined 58 rather, between Carter and Boyette. And we'll be right back here. NATO's leading at 58-53, just over 12 minutes to go. Bruins heading back out onto the floor now, ready to inbound. Garrick now in for Harris, who was able to get off the floor on his own will. Over to Brunson, Sims. Garrick now Hugley going inside, and a big body layup there. Hugley gets the and one, limping a bit. And the foul there is going to go against who? It's going to be against Boyette. That's his second foul, the team's third. And an and one opportunity here for Hugley, a chance to make it a 2-point game. Hugley has 17 now. He's only shot one free throw. He's going to get another one here. NATO's leading by 3, 12:03 to go. And the free throw, no good there by Hugley, and the crowd erupts. Lead will stay at 3 for the NATOs. Charles Reed now gives it to Carter, now Evans. Evans working left side, going to Sly White up top. Takes the dribble, gives to Boyette. Boyette working his move, going inside, putting up the layup, no good. Wild shot, wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Now up the floor to Hugley on the break. He goes up, layup's good, and it's a 1-point ball game. Stephon Hugley with 19. Carson Evans left side to Quincy. Down low, White. White one-on-one with Hugley. Working on him, turnaround is good. Sly White, his first basket since early on. He's got 6. 60-57 NATO lead. Just about halfway through the second period. Garrett going in, working on Evans, losing the ball, and a travel called, but then a foul called by another official. One referee called a travel, one called the foul. I'm going with the travel call. We'll see what comes out of this. The two are conferring. The one that was on the baseline wants the foul, and it looks like he's going to call the foul against number 10, Carson Evans. And the crowd not in agreement with that one. Whistles blowing. Coach Burgess demanding an explanation as Bob Jones heads over to their bench. I'm sure they're fine with the call. Coach Lee Burgess is not. And that one will give the ball back to Bob Jones with 11:17 remaining. Down by 3. And Burgess still wanting, saying to be consistent with the calls, it looks like, saying if you're going to call that down there, you got to call it on our end too. And now the 3 referees conferring under Bob Jones' basket, talking it over. Again, one referee near half court called the travel, and the referee on the baseline called the foul against Evans, and that was what ended up being the call on the floor. As the two teams talking things over, Coach Burgess got to be telling his team to shake it off here, despite his own frustrations with the call. NATO's 60-57 lead. They led by 1 at the break, 41-40. Stephon Hugley has been the main damage maker for the Bruins. He's got 19. Henry Blair with 14. 33 combined points between the two of them. 33 of the 57 total for Bob Jones. And a 60-57 lead as the foul will stand. And Bob Jones, it'll be Sims inbounding for him. Brian Sims from the baseline. Now whistle's blowing again. A lot of issues with the playing surface, it seems like. The mops have come out a lot and are coming out once more right by the Bruins bench, right on that three-point corner area where Quincy Carter's standing. Some heckling coming from the crowd saying to get on with it. Looks like both teams are ready to get on with it. Brunson's still over there trying to gauge his steps in the corner, and the mop comes off now, and we might be ready to play some basketball if the people from Bob Jones will get off the floor. The mop is now back on the floor, folks. More mopping by the Bob Jones bench. Much to the pleasure of the NATO faithful here. As you can hear, more mopping going on in the corner, that left corner on the far side. More mopping now. On the interior now, Brunson still standing in the corner, finally gives the thumbs up. And finally, we are ready to play some basketball again as Sims from the baseline looking around, and he'll give it up top to Blair. Guarded by Quincy, over to the corner. Garrick, and that one almost taken away by Quincy. The second time that's happened, they get it back. Blair puts up the floater off the glass. It's good. Henry Blair now with 16, and it's a one-point ball game with 11:03 to go. Carson Evans. Gives it up top. Sly White has it. Back to Boyette. Boyette. Couple of dribbles between the legs now. And now he goes to Carson. Carson getting a screen from White. Over to LB. Thinks about it. Goes inside with the left. Going back to the right. Going in. Pushes off and fires the mid-range. And will hit it. LB Boyette. 25 points. Career high of 31 last year in a double OT victory against Berea. Closing in on that one. He's still got 10.5 to get it. Sims with it in the corner. Nice spin move. And it rattles in. Looked like it might have gone in and out for a second, but it does go in, and it's 62-61. Carson Evans right side. Passes over to White. White to Reed. Up top, Quincy. Fires up a three and cans it. Quincy Carter with 16. His first three-point attempt, his first three-point make. Quincy Carter with 16. And the NATO's lead is back up to 4. Sims on the left side, over to Brunson. Brunson working on Boyette, puts up the left-hand layup, can't hit. Rebound, though, brought in by Hugley. Going inside on White, puts up a shot and hits. 21 points for Hugley. And now he joins LB Boyette as the only two players with 20-plus in this one. Evans over to the left side to Carter. Now down low, Reed loses his footing, gets it back. Couple of dribbles, goes inside. Turns around now. White gonna fire a three. Can't hit that one off the back iron. Rebound there by Hugley, his 5th. Now to the right side, Sims. Guarded by Reed. Now picked up by Evans. Sims looking to his right now, Blair. Wants to give it to Hugley and does. Hugley working on Reed. Jab step. Now posts him up. Going inside, spinning around. Tries to put it up. Off the glass, can't get it. Gets his own rebound, goes up again, and he's fouled hard. Maybe a little bit of a sell job there at the end by Hugley, but he will go to the line regardless for 2. And that foul. Not sure who that one was against, actually. As Hugley goes to the line, he's 1 for 2 from the stripe. He's got 21 points. NATO's leading by 2 here. A chance to tie it for Hugley. And he'll hit the first, making the deficit 1 for Bob Jones as Garrett Sutherland and Paris Crawford will check in. LB Boyette will get his first break of the second half. Quincy Carter as well. Sutherland, Crawford, Evans, Reed, and White, the 5 for Brevard. As Hugley fires the free throw and hits it, he's 2 for 2. And now we're all tied up at 65 apiece. 9:05 left to decide it. Carson Evans now, a little bit of a press being employed. He gets it to Sutherland. Garrett on the left side goes cross court. That one's stolen. Bad pass. Blair takes it. Blair going inside. Puts up the layup and hits. And just like that, Bob Jones regains the lead. Their first lead of the second half. Off the bad pass there from Sutherland. Evans now gives back to Garrett, who goes to Crawford. Right side, Charles Reed. Reed to Crawford. Goes into the left. Spinning around. Loses a handle. Now to White. White. Sutherland. Looking around, 14 on the 24. Now up to White up top. Hands to Crawford. Left side, Evans. Not a lot of spacing going on right now. White, turnaround is no good. Rebound there by Hugley. That's his 7th. Over to the right side, Blair. Guarded by Crawford, now picked up by Evans. They switch. Hugley, guarded by the long Paris Crawford. Going inside, spinning, going up with a layup, and another basket there. 25 points for Stephon Hugley, and a timeout called here, looks like, by Brevard. 8:05 to go. NATO's all of a sudden find themselves trailing by 4. Got to get something going here against Bob Jones. Under 10 minutes to go. NATO's trailing at 69-65, and we'll be right back. Back here at the Bosch, referees blowing the whistles, and Bob Jones breaks the huddle here. Sutherland, Evans, Reed, Crawford, and White still the 5. Brunson, Brush, Hugley, Blair, and Sims the 5 for Bob Jones. First game of regular season action for either squad. Both teams played a Division I exhibition game earlier in the week. And Charles Reed will be the inbounder, and more mopping. Just what we've been waiting for, folks. 2 mops are now on the court and in the same exact area. And, it seems like we're getting more complaints from Bob Jones about the playing surface than we have from the NATOs, but that's just from my eyes. And both teams, I'm sure, ready to get on with this. And it's consistently over by that Bob Jones bench area where apparently we're having some sort of grip issues as the mops have had to come out multiple times now. Referee gauging the stickiness of the floor. And the mops are off the floor, the whistle's blown, and basketball will be played again here. Evans gets the ball now over to Crawford. Crawford, Blair comes up on him. Now back to Evans, got to get it past half court. And now Carson goes to work. Up top to Sly. Sly, a dribble, now hands to Evans. Evans fires up a mid-range, can't hit. Wild shot there, didn't really get his feet set as Hugley with rebound number 8. Sims now, left side. Wanted Hugley. It goes off his fingertips to Brunson. Brunson to Brush. Brush working on Sutherland. Couple of fakes now over to Blair. Gets Crawford to the fake, goes up with a layup and hits it. And now a 6-point lead for Bob Jones. Over to Crawford, right side. On the right wing, Crawford, a couple left-hand dribbles now over to Carson Evans. White, all alone behind the three-point line, fires one up and hits it. Big basket there from Sly White to bring the deficit down to 3, and Sly has 9 now. Brunson going inside on Evans, hits the brakes, goes up, and he is blocked, and a late foul called again. Another late whistle from the same official who did it earlier. Called on Sly White there. And now, timeout coming. Couple of NATOs getting ready to check in. Another late whistle from the officials. NATO's trailing it by 3 with 7:01 to go here. 71-68. Back on the floor, NATO's trailing at 71-68. Really tight game here in the regular season opener between these two teams, the Bob Jones Bruins and the Brevard College Tornadoes. And Brunson heading to the line after a really, really late whistle from the official. First free throw here for Brunson is good. Brunson, his first free throw of the night there. Has 10 points now. 4-point lead now. As Brunson puts up another, and that one's good. He gets them both. And the lead's back up to 5 for Bob Jones as KK Horton, newly checked into the game, has the ball. Now gives to Reed, who is also newly checked into the ball game. Or no, he's not, rather. Watson and Smith, the two that just came in. Sutherland on the right side, goes over to Watson. Left side, KK Horton, who's been a good facilitator tonight. And Watson fires up a mid-range, can't hit. Rebound hauled in by Hugley, his 9th. Nearly a double-double for Hugley, 1 rebound away now. Hugley gets it up top, slowing the pace down. Gives to Brunson. Brunson circling back now, working on Horton. Over to Brush. Now Sims has it. Up top, Brush. Blair on the left wing, guarded by Watson. Now Hugley has it, guarded by the big Smith. Brush goes inside, tries to work on Watson. Left-hand layup is good. And the lead's up to 7. Biggest lead of the second half for Bob Jones as Horton brings it up the left side. 6:06 and counting to go as Watson gets it right side. LB Boyette getting ready to check back in. He's got 25. Nice backdoor pass by Smith, but Sutherland couldn't handle it. And that one will be going the other way as Boyette checks in. Sutherland steps out. And 5:56 to go in this one. NATO's trailing at 75-68. All of a sudden, Bob Jones putting the pressure on. Sims has it. Over to Brunson, into the corner, Blair. Blair got a little bit of space. Defers over to Brush instead, though. Now over to the right side, Brunson goes over to Hugley, and that one's knocked out by Smith. Good defense by Ryan Smith, as we've seen all night. And it'll be Sims coming to inbound. Referee directing him where to go. And now the pass over to Hugley, back to Sims. Sims working on Watson, goes inside. Pass is nearly stolen, and it is stolen by Reed. Now up to Watson on the break. Horton goes up with a layup. It's good. On the break, KK Horton, he's got 8 points. And it's 75-70 with 5:23 remaining. And this pass almost stolen by Reed again as Brunson has it. Working on the right wing on Horton. Tries to go inside, not getting any space. Trying to work, not getting any space. Ball ripped away on the ground. Hugley has it, passing it away. And that one's on the ground, taken by Reed. Horton has it now, making a defender fall. Over to Boyette, to the corner. Watson for 3. Can't hit. Rebound brought in Hugley. He's got a double-double now with 25 and 10. Brunson up the right side, an intense sequence there. 4:50 to go in this one, 75-70. Brunson left side, over to Hugley. Loses a handle for a second, gets it back. Horton rips it, another steal. Horton over to Boyette. It's 2-on-2. Boyette stopping in transition, now slowing it down. Over to Horton, another steal by the NATO's. Active hands on the defensive end. Horton now over to the right side to Watson. Horton thinks about the 3, goes inside now, puts up the floater, no good. Rebound hauls in his own, puts up another one, and hits. KK Horton's got double figures now with 10. 4 rebounds now, 2 assists. And some really good defensive activity from him. 4:09 to go. It's a one-possession game once more. 75-72. Closing in on 4 minutes to go. Sims breaks Horton over to the right side. Brush, mid-range is there. Shooters roll, and Horton falling on that one. Lead back up to 5. And the Mops are coming back out on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. The Mops are back. The much-awaited return of the Mops, and an official timeout coming. 77-72. Media timeout being taken here. 3:52 remaining. NATO's in a dogfight here. LB Boyette has 25. Quincy Carter with 16 rather. Kevon Horton with 10. Sly White with 9. And Stephon Hugley doing most of the damage. Him and Henry Blair for the Bruins. Hugley with 25. Blair with 20. And the NATO's trailing it by 5 with under 4 minutes to go. When we get back, just a moment here from the Bosch.
Graduate of the Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is equipped with the core skills to be successful in any field. So what can students do after they graduate? Anything they want.
I think that Brevard College's Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is better than other programs because of the quality of the teachers.
Students come to us with a question and they leave not with an answer, but with more curiosity about what else is out there. And I think that's what's most important for a college experience, is not to graduate with all the answers.
Both teams coming back out on the floor. Same 5 for the NATO's, same 5 for the Bruins. Stretch run here. You got to wonder when we're going to see Quincy Carter re-enter this game. 3:52 to go. Coach Burgess still has him on the bench for the moment. He's got 16 as Horton up the left side, calling out the play. Over to the right side, Watson. Now Ryan Smith up top. Takes the dribble. Now goes over to Horton on the right side. Boyette weaving through traffic. That's who Horton wants. That's who Horton gets. In the corner now working on Brush. 8 on the 24. Boyette back out to Smith. Going to fire up a 3. Ryan Smith makes it a 2-point game. Ryan Smith has 2 baskets in this ball game, both of them of the 3-point variety. And the 6'7" big man has knocked down 2 trays, and that was a big one as Blair goes in with the layup and gets it over Boyette. Not a lot of foul trouble for the NATOs. Boyette has 2, Horton and White have 2, Evans has 2, but those are the most on the team. Horton on the right side gives it down low to Smith. Smith turning around, now firing a pass over to Boyette. He thinks about it, now goes up top Watson. Watson a couple dribbles, stepping back, getting a screen now from Smith, going away from the screen, stepping back, firing the 2, and hitting! Chancey Watson makes it a 2-point game once more. Chancey has 7. 3 of 9 from the field. 2:35 remaining. Brush has the ball. Into the corner, Horton going inside, hop step, turning around, fires a pass over to Hugley. Hugley guarded by Smith, now goes back to Horton. Horton faking, fatigue setting in for Horton, it appears. Going inside now, Brush puts up the layup, well contested, can't hit it. Rebound, Ryan Smith. Over to Horton now, left side. Horton gonna slow things down, it looks like. Between the legs dribble, goes inside, puts up the layup, it's good, and he ties the ball game up with 2:08 to go. KK Horton, 12 points. Now Sims bringing it up the floor. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Up top, working on Horton. Pulling back, goes over to Brush in the corner. Brush, a couple of slow dribbles, now gives over to Sims. Now Hugley in the corner, guarded by Smith, trying to get some space. Looking for a cutter, backdoor pass, Sims. Layup is good. Nice feed there by Hugley, and a timeout called. Hugley with his first assist of the ball game with 1:43 remaining. And it'll be a 30-second timeout here by Bob Jones. 81-79, Bob Jones lead. Shirley just talking over the defensive strategy here as we get down the stretch run. Less than 2 minutes to go. LB Boyette still sitting at 25, and we still don't see Quincy Carter on the floor, who has 16 and has been really tenacious on defense tonight. The 5 so far on the floor right now, though, has looked good, including Horton and Boyette. 2 of them really getting active. Ryan Smith chipped in a 3 a moment ago. Chancey Watson has a few buckets. And they will stick with this 5. Still no Carter. 1:43 remaining. 81-79. As good of a game as you can ask for on opening night. And it'll be Charles Reed. And the bench urging Brian Sims to come and press up on Horton here on the inbound. Horton gets it no problem, though. Coming up the left side, KK Horton. He's got 12. 4 rebounds, 2 assists as well. Horton to the right side to Watson. Up top, Ryan Smith. Smith with the dribble. Over to Horton. Looking for Boyette. Gives it to Boyette. Boyette going inside. Trying to dribble. Loses the ball and a foul called on the floor. Only the second foul of the half against the Bruins. NATO's was 6. Bit of a discrepancy there. And Charles Reed from the baseline will inbound once more. With 1:25 remaining, NATO's trailing by 2. Could tie it up or take the lead on this possession. Reed looking around. Passes over to Boyette. Boyette up top Watson. Watson shakes his man. Fires the long 2. Can't hit. Rebound to Sims. And now it's time to D up for the NATOs. A basket here would be really tough. Sims to the right side, Blair. You got to think they're going to give it to Hugley here. Hugley with 25. Blair with 22 as well, though. Could be him. Up top, Brunson losing the basketball. Charles Reed a steal. 2-on-1. Horton goes in. The layup, no good. Rebounded, knocked out of the hands of Sims. Smith goes up and 1! Ryan Smith, a chance to give the NATOs the lead with 53.2 remaining. Ryan Smith, clutch. Smith only has 3 baskets in this one, but by God, they have all been huge. 2 3-pointers, and right there, the putback And the and one opportunity. Smith, the crowd goes quiet. Fires up the free throw off the back of the rim. That one rebounded. Reed saves it, but he's out of bounds. And we will be all tied up at 81 as Kenny Garrick coming in for the final 51.8 seconds of this one. And now we will see Quincy Carter coming in. He'll get Chansey. A little bit better of a defender is Quincy over Watson. And I'm sure that's the thinking there by head coach Lee Burgess. As Brush inbounds to Sims. 50 seconds and counting. 81 apiece here. Defense chants raining down from the crowd. Sims guarded by Horton. Switched on to by Reed. Now to the left side, Blair. Blair working on Carter. Goes inside, and that one is going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to stay with Bob Jones. 35.7 remaining, and boy, it is getting intense here in the Bosch. The Mops are back. The Mops are back on the baseline before this play. And shout out to whichever Brevard College student athlete that is working this one, working the Mops. He's been one of the stars of this contest. And we have received word that is a Brevard men's soccer player on the mop tonight. So shout out Brevard men's soccer playing in the NCAA tournament this Saturday against Washington and Lee. First round of the NCAA Division III playoffs. And now Sims from the baseline, ready to inbound, and he does so to Blair. Blair going inside quickly on Carter, puts it up off the glass. It's good. 24 points for Blair, and the two-headed monster of Hugley and Blair have combined for 49 points in this one. 49 of the 83 points have come off the hands of either Stephon Hugley or Henry Blair. Timeout here, 32 and a half remaining. LB Boyette still sitting at 25, so if this one finishes off in regulation, looking like his career high will stay at 31, but you never know. Quincy Carter sitting at 16. KK Horton with 12 points, 5 of 9 from the field, very efficient. And 5 of 7 from two-point land. He's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. 4 rebounds for him, 2 assists. Sly White with some good work tonight, 9 points, 4 of 7 from the field. And Ryan Smith, only 3 baskets and 8 points, but 5 rebounds, and all 3 of those baskets were huge, including the putback just a moment ago to tie the ball game up. Got the and one opportunity, wasn't able to cash in the free throw, but the NATO's still with a chance here, down 83-81 with 32 and a half remaining here in this one. The horn sounds, both teams about to break the huddle. Lee Burgess, we'll see what he came up with here. The 5 remains the same, rather. Looks like Smith stays on the floor. Watson onto the floor now. And the inbounder will be Chansey. He'll inbound to Horton. Horton up the left side, clearing Watson out. KK. Left side now, need a basket. Gets a screen from Smith. Over to Boyette. Smith takes the dribble, hands to Boyette. LB firing up the 3. Can't hit. Long rebound hauled in by Blair. Blair going inside, puts up the layup. No good. Rebound fought for, brought in by Hugley. And he puts it up to make it a 4-point game with 12 seconds to go. Watson coming up the floor, losing the ball. Passes to Boyette. Boyette going inside, and it's going to be out of bounds. And Bob Jones will retain possession with 5.7 seconds remaining, leading by 4. And it's looking like the NATO's going to run out of time in this one. 3.6 seconds remaining, and Horton fouls. NATO's trailing by 4, and it's looking like it's going to be a tough defeat here in game number 1 for the NATO's. Regardless of the outcome, though, if you're Coach Lee Burgess, you got to be pleased with some of the things you've seen. Obviously, as will be the case with every team in the first game, you're going to see a lot of things you want to clean up, but a lot of positives we've seen from this Tornado squad. 25 points in the opener for LB Boyette as Sims fires up the free throw and hits. Sims now sitting at 14 points, chance to make it 15. Both teams with 2 guys at 15 plus, and it'll stay that way as he misses the free throw. Boyette passes up the floor. Watson fires up a long 3, can't hit it, and that's going to be all she wrote here So the NATOs fall just short in the season opener, 86-81 here. LB Boyette, 25 points. Stephon Hugley, really the big damager for the Bruins. He had 27. Henry Blair chipped in 24. And we'll be back here in just a moment for final recap and thoughts here as we head into the closure and the post-game show here at the Bosch on a Thursday night. NATO's falling just short in the regular season opener, and I'll be right back for final thoughts, stats, and recap. Back here at the Bosch, final score 86-81. Bob Jones. Bob Jones starting off their regular season 1-0. NATO's inversely will start 0-1. NATO's were led by LB Boyette, 25 points, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. He also added in 6 boards and 2 assists. Quincy Carter had 16 points on 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from the stripe, 3 rebounds, and some really good defense. KK Horton, didn't really get to see any of him last year, was injured during last season, his freshman campaign. But tonight, in his first start, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from the field. Really good game from number 13 for the NATOs, Sly White, chipping in 9 points on 4 of 7 from the field and a board. Ryan Smith, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and a huge putback there at the end of the game to tie the ball game up. Had an and one opportunity. Wasn't able to hit the free throw. We stayed tied at 81, and ultimately that is what the NATOs stayed at, was 81 points. Chancey Watson, not his best shooting night, but still chipped in 7 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. Nice work by number 32. David Seeley checked in for a moment and had 2 points and 2 rebounds. Carson Evans, 2 points, 2 assists. Paris Crawford, Charles Reed, and Garrett Sutherland all got into the ball game but did not score. Charles Reed with some huge defensive plays down the stretch. For Bob Jones, it was Stephon Hugley and Henry Blair, the two causing the most damage. 27 points for Hugley, 24 points for Blair on a combined 22 of 33 from the field. 2 of 5 from 3 for Blair. Hugley did not attempt the 3. Brian Sims had 14. Trevor Brunson had 11. Biggest lead for Bob Jones was 10. Biggest lead for the NATOs was 9 early on in the second half when they got off to that 8-0 run to start the second half. Best scoring run was 10 for Bob Jones. Best scoring run for the NATOs, 14. And that carried over from the end of the first half where they went on a 6-point run to when they went on the 8-0 run to start the second half. 8 lead changes, 6 ties. Bob Jones held the lead for 23 minutes and 3 seconds, obviously finishing off with the victory. And Brevard had the lead for 15 minutes. Points off turnovers, 14 for Brevard, 8 for Bob Jones. 40 points in the paint for Brevard, but 62 of the 86 points coming in the paint for Bob Jones. 9 second chance points for the NATOs, 6 for Bob Jones. 18 fast break points for the NATOs, 13 for the Bruins, and bench points pretty even, 13-11. In favor of the NATOs. NATOs led at the half 41-40, but Bob Jones ultimately outscoring Brevard 46-40 in the second half. NATOs falling 86-81 here in this one. Basketball 0-1 to start off the season. Their next contest will be this Saturday in Asheville, right down the road, about 40 minutes down the road. UNC Asheville, another exhibition, so this one won't count towards the regular season record. And the next time that we'll see the men's here will be November 16th against the Warren Wilson Owls at 7 o'clock tip here. And be sure to tune in this Saturday, folks. The Brevard College soccer team taking on Washington and Lee in the first round of the NCAA Division III playoffs. Number 22, Washington and Lee, 1 o'clock game time this Saturday. And this Saturday, 1 o'clock, final football contest for the Brevard football team in Buena Vista, Virginia, taking on the Southern Virginia Knights, looking to finish off the campaign with a 500 record, sitting at 4-5, looking to defeat Southern Virginia just as they did last year to even things out on the year at 5-5. That's about all we've got for you here tornado-wise. NATO's falling here 86-81. Be sure to catch us on the 16th here as we take on Warren Wilson. I'm Brady Penn, signing off.